Her Opinion Show, the podcast you didn't know you needed. Real talk, bold truth, her voice, her vision, her rules. Let's get into it. New week, new show. What's up, ladies? How are y'all doing?
So glad to be here.
Yes. So I have one of my favorite people on today. I'm so glad she's here. Elvia Quintanilla. How are you, girl?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me again. I appreciate it.
We're saying it's been like a year and a half since we had you?
Not that long ago. Maybe a year.
Maybe a year. I don't know. Time
because
flies
you were at the other studio at the Sugarland.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, a lot of things have changed. You're doing a lot of big things. You were just on Jen's Spanish show.
Yes.
And so this is where you can now get comfortable because you don't have to worry about that Spanglish that
I know. You gotta like think in English, talk in Spanish. I know how it is.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that is hard to be anything, Spanish, Mexican, Latino, whatever you are, Latin descent, is to get scrutinized for not being able to speak well in Spanish.
Yep.
And then try to ask what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And you know what you're trying to say, but people don't get it.
Right.
But you know what? I get you.
Yes.
We get each other. And then you don't want to embarrass each other, so you're just like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, girl.
Just agree. Just agree.
You want to agree to that?
Exactly. Well, listen, so we have you on because I want to talk more about what you're doing now. Because from when I met you to see the growth is really amazing.
Thank you.
It's, I love what you're doing for the community. I love what you're doing for the kids. And then obviously for everyone else too, because it's just impacted everybody. But I wanted to just say a little bit about you. Are you the first woman in the city to have a trade school?
That I know of. I'm one of the only women, Latina women that owns a trade school in Houston, Texas.
Okay. So the trade, when I first met you, was just electrical, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you added now?
I have HVAC now as
Ooh,
well.
okay, girl, you're doing
We
it.
knew you were going to do it. We were just like, do it, girl.
It started in the beginning of this year, January,
Okay.
in partnership with Daikin. So that made it happen a lot faster. I'm grateful for that.
What was that again? You partnered with who?
With Daikin, yes.
Daikin. Okay.
Not all Houstonians love Daikin at first because,
First of all, not all Houstonians can say it right.
Well, I had to because they're partners.
Exactly.
So the Daikin, guys, Daikin.
Yes.
The new stadium. The stadium is now Daikin.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. But tell everybody just like the journey and how you got here. I mean, I'm sure you gave the story in Spanish, but now in English,
of course,
this might be a little easier.
Yeah.
Well, it's been quite a journey, but honestly, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to be in business. I just didn't know what I was going to do. But all of my life lessons that I've learned, the hard times have mold me into the person I am today. And now I'm able to help my community a lot better because I understand the obstacles and struggles that a lot of us go through in being in disadvantaged neighborhoods and going to low income high schools or any education, and understanding how you can bridge the gap within education and industry. To me, is like a superpower that I understand, and I don't take it lightly. So I try to break that bureaucracy and then help my community understand that a lot better. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a journey. And I started the business in 2020 when I quit. I left the job, not having a job. I was really just tired of seeing the greed in the industry, and I couldn't be a part of that. I was not going to make money for somebody that was not going to give back or that only cared about themselves. So unfortunately, to me, that was very heartbreaking because I love where I was at. I loved the community I was serving, and I was there for 10 years. But I had to leave in COVID, and from there, a lot of people were like, we already, you know a lot about schools. You were running that school. That is you. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, you know what? That little seed they planted in me, I was like, well, why not? Let's try it. And then when everybody was shutting down schools because it was COVID and a lot of schools did not make it, I was like, well, I'm going to try it. And God is with me. And I know that I can help my community. And 5 years later, we're here in one of the fastest growing schools in Houston, Texas.
You help with Just Sisters.
Yes,
so
four sisters.
Four sisters, right? So all girls, but then you opened up this technical school.
Yes. Somebody had to be the man.
I know,
yes.
right?
I mean, I was a tomboy my whole life. I play sports. I'm very competitive. I like to compete. I like to be the best in everything in a healthy way. So that motivation, that drive has always been in me. I learned, how to be a teammate, I learned how to help others. So I would say that played a big role in who I am and how I now develop my team. I develop leaders. I don't just develop workers. That's not what I do. My team understands that my vision is big and they're a part of it too. And they want to come along. They need to become leaders just like me. As far as leading, is not just having a position, it's helping others and not just thinking about yourself all the time. So I'm really proud of being able to build that with my team. Now we're a team of almost 20 in the school. And I started with just myself, an instructor, and our operations manager, which is our COO now, my fiance, and like all of us, we didn't think this was going to get this big, this fast. In the past 3 years, we've grown from 1,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet. And we have now electrical and HVAC. So it's very a testament of the team and the testament of the community that believes in me. And you guys have always been supportive. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, watching you through this, I'm just like
cheering you on in the background.
From all seeing you, everything you do, but because of the passion and the resilience you have behind it. And I've always, heard you talk, listened to you, and you've just truly wanted to help these kids. A lot of the times we don't realize that we push college so much. I mean, a lot of parents do that. And it's like, not everybody's a college kid. Not everybody's set to go into that, or has the money.
Yeah.
And we put trade on the back burner. And trade is so important in so many ways. It's like just the value of that. Sometimes you can make more than the kids coming out of college. A lot of times you can, especially if you have that entrepreneur, inside of you. And so tell me how you empower these kids and make them understand the value behind trade.
Well, I was one of those, young adults at that time. I went to college twice, dropped out twice. But like I told you guys, when I was in high school, I was top 10%. I was always trying to push the envelope, but I didn't like traditional learning. I didn't like to sit there. I couldn't retain information that way. So I'm a kinesthetic learner, which a lot of the students that we help are, and a lot of technicians or anybody that does trades is the kinesthetic learner. So understanding that, and then also in the community, they don't really talk about these things. They say, oh, that's not a thing. It is a thing, how you learn and the style of learning you have. So I use my own obstacles, what I experienced in college twice and how I did not succeed, but I took those and I learned from that, and then I applied it here, and then I created that vision, and I was like, well, this is what I would have liked if they were talking to me, if I was in the other end, and this is how I would educate somebody. So I break it down very, very detailed to my students, because that's what they need. They need to be educated on the pathways and how they're going to get to that, owning a company or being a master electrician or, being a superintendent, whatever they're wanting to aspire to be in the different sectors there is in electrical and HVAC. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, that they think it's like, oh, just construction, electrical. No, there's manufacturing, there's solar, there's industrial, there's residential, and there's so many opportunities. Everything we do then requires electricity. So I tell them, think big, you're not just, anybody, and it's how you carry yourself too. So it's like, you can just say it's a simple certificate, but look at the power that certificate has.
Oh, for sure.
And if you go to college, I think it's what you're taking as a course. So I think college is great, but what are you taking? If it's not going to take you in 5 years anywhere, then you are probably wasting your time and money.
But you hear so many, even entrepreneurs trying to counsel other entrepreneurs, telling them that a technical school a lot of times pays more than a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Pays more than all of these other that you're in debt. Spend millions of dollars, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of dollars in a career that basically you're in debt in. In a lot of these schools, you get a certificate. A lot of them give you a scholarship, and then you grow from there and you're making the money. I mean, I do investments on the side. And my electrician, when he comes and he gives me a quote.
This is big time, right?
It's a lot of money. I mean, literally plumbing and electricity is what I spend the most on my investment. Everything else is okay. But I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I should start a business
and
with
listen,
it.
And not to mention, you're talking residential, commercial.
Commercial, bigger bucks.
Our quotes are like, close the whole place down.
It was like, I'll get my uncle.
And you can't, in commercial, you can't just bring in any, you can't bring in your friend who knows a little electrical. He'll burn the whole place down.
Liability. and that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that, it's a risk. but that's what's well paid. But if you stay the course, our students out of an 8-week program are getting $16, $18 starting off if they're going to the construction side. But if they're going to manufacturing and industrial, they're getting $19 to $25. These young adults or adults that have been living in poverty or have been living just marginal, they are now they have economic independence. And that's really what empowers me to continue to do this, because they don't know what they don't know. And if we can educate them more, then more young adults can be out of the streets, can get out of jail. Depression wouldn't be as prominent as it is now, because when you keep somebody busy with their hands, it gives them a purpose, so it's bigger than just, trades. It's about, empowering people to believe in themselves. And I think I'm just been blessed enough to really understand it, because I do thank God every day that I'm like, I don't take this lightly. I see every student as an opportunity to change their life. And my team, I teach the same thing. It's like, you don't know what they gone through before coming in here, and we're nobody to judge. We're here to help. So I try to make sure that they understand that here you have to work, you have to have empathy. And if you can't have that, then we're not a good school. And I think if more leaders will build leaders that way, our world will look a little different.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. For sure. And I think when you believe in yourself, even as a student coming into a new career, it gives confidence, and you produce a different type that you may not have done your whole childhood because nobody taught you what believing in yourself. So if they catch it from you, a coach or wherever, it could change lives. Right. And I think one of the biggest things is like you had said one time before, is that when you go to the schools and you talk to the guy, well, not just the guys, it's the girls, right? You're letting them know they can do this too. But what is the impactful thing that you tell them? Because you have to get them to see it differently.
Yes.
Because they may be okay with leaving school and getting that first job at McDonald's or whatever it is, but to give them that vision that, listen, if you come over here, this is sky's the limit,
Well, I always been the underdog, so I'm always rooting for the underdog. So I've always been just different that way. And when I talk to counselors or ISDs that I'm out there helping, I let them know I want to get the most students that have the most obstacles, because I need them to understand that there's an opportunity for them, because they're the hungriest. Because when you have a lot of opportunities, you have choices, and that's good. You're blessed. That I don't, we want that for our children, but not all young adults have that opportunity. So if they, like I said again, they don't know what they don't know. So I will get in front of all of them, and then I say, if you don't have an opportunity to go to college, if college is not for you, this is a pathway you can take, and this is how you can grow, and this is how much you can make. And then that, to them, nobody's believed in them. One thing, nobody's had taken the time to go, because they're usually the ones that are the bottom of the barrel, what they say, and they just need life spoken into them and show them the way. And they're the hungriest, and they're the ones that produce and perform
and
the best.
Even somebody that doesn't have the means, your school offers opportunity.
Oh yes, we're for anybody that you don't even have to believe in yourself. Anybody that wants to do something, and they like to work with their hands. They always wanted to do a trade. We're for those people, because
you have scholarships, and you have things to help out.
As a state school, we are licensed, and we are able to pull resources from the state. So because electrical and HVAC is such a high demand trade, and there's not enough. I think it's for every 5 electricians retiring, only 1 is going in, which is a problem for consumers. It's a problem for our communities. So the state sees that, and they have initiatives, and that we are able to pull resources, and we scholarship about 75% of our school population.
And what I love, and I know we were talking about it before, but even people that are undocumented, you have programs where you have other businesses that actually support it, and they give scholarships for it.
Yes, we've been blessed enough to really create partnerships with industry and foundations that are private, and they are kind enough to understand that everybody deserves an opportunity. And so we don't have a lot, but we have limited resources, because the state scholarships, you have to have at least a work permit or be a citizen. But the foundations and the employers, sometimes they'll sponsor a student, and we reserve that for the most needed students but we vet them too. Just as much as I'm going to help them, I hold them accountable. Of course. And that's one thing that I show them too, is you have to be accountable to the things you're doing, because somebody out there is championing for you. You may not understand that, but I need you to understand it. And this is how you're going to understand it. Because when a lot of our young adults, they have so much opportunity here, which is great, the United States. That is why we're here. But because they have so much opportunity, they don't take the value of it. There are students that sometimes they come to me like, I don't think I can go because I can't make the appointment. I was like, young man or young woman, do you understand that this is a scholarship for $6,000 that could potentially, I talked to them and I'm not rude to them, but I'm like, I need you to center yourself to understand where you're really in front of you, because nobody's really talked to them that way. And then they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'm being a little lazy. I was like, yeah. And if you can't come to an appointment, you can't go to work because
there's 10 more that want that opportunity.
Like, and so I coach them still. I don't turn anybody away, but I also tell them it's going to take some of your effort for you to be successful here too. So it's them holding them accountable and us holding them back.
Which is hard. And, you know, in this time, because a lot of the kids that are graduating are still not ready for the world yet, and they don't understand that. They're still coming in. And even, second generation, they're still spoiled at home. They're still coddled. And I
have a 17-year-old.
Yeah, you literally
you got it.
We've set them up for a rude awakening. But besides all that, first of all, the name of the school.
Texas Technical Trade School.
Yes. And what side of town are you on? So
we are closer to the south, by Hobby Airport, maybe 10 minutes from there, a mile from Elmira Mall.
And I already know that I see you all over Houston, so I'm sure you'll have multiple locations
in the
one
future.
day. Yes, one
coming
day.
Soon.
Yeah, because there's the need for that on a lot of areas of Houston, obviously. But you're also just a girl.
Just a girl.
Just a girl who might have liked a lot of things that as a tomboy, but you're still a girl fighting in this man's world of, trade school. That's crazy because we think that and we're always like, oh, no, but there's so many women coming into it now, right? And I think I've noticed that when you post and I see a lot of more women and girls, young girls coming in, how is that going?
Well, it's growing great, but at first it wasn't going. The first year, I think we trained maybe 2 women the whole year. And then we started seeing initiatives. I got an idea and I was like, well, we should create an initiative for an all women cohort. I said, and it should be in March in honor of Women International Month. And then in October in observance of, domestic violence. So last year was the first year that we did it, and it was very successful. We were able to scholarship 10 women in each cohort fully. They gave them childcare, they gave them gas assistance, and we vetted them, make sure that they wanted to work in this field. And they have been the ones that go to work the fastest, and they're the ones that are aspiring to grow the fastest, So to me, it showed is whenever you really pour into somebody, they're going to deliver, and from there, we've trained 4, then we trained 20, and this year we hope to train 60, and that was intention. We saw that there was a need for them, and then also I'm in the board for National Women in Construction Houston chapter. So being in that, I have a voice too, and I'm able to show them that there's many opportunities, and I'm able to learn from women that are engineers, that are in construction sites, and that, to me, that's an honor.
So one of the things I love about you is that you're very humble.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really do love that.
I know. She talks about you all the time. Would you receive an award from us?
Yes.
Thank you last year, because we did want to honor you.
Thank you.
And also too, when we were talking, because how we kind of met and talked about the things that helped you go through hard times in life and stuff like that. You're around these kids and you sometimes notice that they may be going through a hard time or have a hardship. And sometimes when they've come to you because you've been that person for them, it's easy for them to open up to you and, before quitting, before saying, I can't do this anymore. And I think that's one of the things that makes you great and will make your school great, because you are that type of person. But how do you get through your times? On the spot.
Yeah, well, that one,
it's going to go deep.
That's usually, where I'm learning now is that I can't pour into others if I don't pour into myself. And it's been very hard because I guess my whole life, I've been survival mode and I try to make it and I don't think about the problems. I just action mode. I'm like, I have to get through it. There's no other way. Yeah. And I put that in my mind. So sometimes I don't even think. think like I'm not okay. But when you help so many people and you know, then you start feeling it, because before it was me and my family, maybe me and my son, but now it's, you know, it's my community. And so yes, I've been being more conscious of that, and the way I try to take care of myself is spend more time with my family, and spend more time with my son, and spend more time with my friends, and just learning and just hearing where we're all at, because that's the human aspect of life. And we can't get too involved in the business because that's not healthy. And I've been trying to, you know, not be such a workaholic, but it's hard, but be more intentional.
But I think we talked. I'm sorry. No, I was saying that I think we talked about that you kind of talking about the friends, you made your circle of friends smaller.
Yes, definitely. I say no more. And I try to go to what I talk to my friends, and I'm like, is this very important for you? If it is really important for them, I make time for them. But if it's not, they're honest with me too. And I think it's having friends that are the same mindset. They understand that we don't have to be together all the time. I don't have to text you all the time, but you know, if you really need me, you can reach me and I'll be there for you.
That's the kind of friends I like.
Yeah, exactly.
She knows
the only friends I can
I don't have that many friends.
I mean, as you get older and you're in business like that, it's just what it is, you know, and those friends understand. But also too, I was going to ask you so going through those things and seeing that, I think also one of the things that fills our tank is the reward of blessing other people.
Yes.
Seeing other people win, you know, the smile on their face. I think that even though you're about to jump off a cliff yourself, you just was like, oh, this is why. Yes. Right. And it just full circle. And so sometimes we don't realize that like we're at that point, but it just takes one person that, you know, you've blessed, or they've taken that advice and they've grown from it. And you're like, okay, you know what? Nope, it doesn't matter. And so I'm pretty sure that's a lot of because this is your passion. Yes. So it's not like working, right?
No. It doesn't feel like work. Of course, there's days that it feels like work because we're human and it is tiring. But like you say, I get a breath of fresh air every time a student comes in. They're like, "Hey, miss," and then or they come back.
Do you remember me when you first started? Yes. You were a small school.
I started my summer initiative 3 years ago with seniors. Now those seniors are 21. Wow. Some of them are going to be journeymen now. Wow. They come back and they're like, "Miss, I traveled to Alaska. Miss, I did this," and these kids didn't even have. They weren't even thinking they were even going to do anything, you know. And that to me, I was like, "This is what I do. And then helping women, the single moms, that to me is so empowering because I see their children. And we just had a graduation maybe 2 weeks ago. There's a little boy, his mom was up in there. She's like, "That's my mama." And I was like, I wanted to cry because I was just like, that's what it's about. You know, it's about empowering people to do better and to just believe in themselves. And her name is Miss Ball. And she's amazing. And she is such a fireball. And she was just like, "I'm going to take that HVAC class next because that electrical class was great." And I was just like, look at her believing in herself.
Hey, this is Texas. You need to know HVAC. That thing goes.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what. You're my friend, not just because if I have an electrical problem or an HVAC problem, I'm calling you.
Exactly.
You know, that's a good business because obviously these students are going to come back and be like, anything you need, you call me.
Martinez one.
Hey, my next investment, that's a good idea. A lot of times, you know, I have these electricians and whatever, but I'm going to call you next time because I do a lot of investment property. And like I said, that's what you spend the most money on. And that's what's most needed right now.
And we have a lot of electrical contractor partners. So we have about 35 plus employer partners that are licensed contractors that they're just as grateful because we're helping them with their workforce, finding good people that are skilled to go to their jobs. So I know those are good friends as well, you know? So yes, definitely.
Well, getting off track here, but we also wanted to talk a little bit about you're also joining us with our nonprofit. You have Purpose Foundation.
Yes.
So we are grateful for that. We can't wait to do big things because we do want to raise money and we do want to help. And we want to help, you know, people go to school and for trades. So those are things that we would like to get to the point to, I don't know, scholarship 10 kids if we can, you know, and
do it the unconventional way, you know, whatever it is that we need to do for these women, because I know that a lot of them, they don't have a direction and we need another woman. Because they're a woman. A lot of times we would like to take more advice from a woman than anything else.
Coming from not trusting a man.
Exactly.
Especially if they're vulnerable and they've been through a lot. It's not that they don't like men. It's just that they've been jaded a lot for different things. So they're just more trusting if it's, you know, something they can they can, look back to. But yes, I will, that's something that I love to do. And I'm very proud to be in the board as well. So thank you guys for having me. And I can't wait to see what we're going to accomplish.
We're doing big things this year.
And we're so excited for the stories that we're going to hear, because the thing is, it's not just a whole bunch of women getting together and saying we want to help somebody. It's like everybody independently has their own story, has their own experience, and has something to impact.
It's a very powerful board, and I'm very honored to be there. And it's just, like you said, the women that are on there and you guys, is just everybody together in unison. It's just so amazing to see.
And I think one of the biggest things that I think we'll all do great at is not forgetting about the children that are coming out of these domestic violence situations. Sure. And when the mom is already leaving a situation or struggling, the kids also need help. Sometimes, there's those teenagers that have stepped in and they're playing the dad role, and something like this is valuable for them to help change the whole family. So we can't wait to collab and do these things with you and make,
like you said, moves. October is
domestic violence
month.
Yes.
So I mean, that's going to be something that hopefully people can hear.
Yes, exactly. So, well, wrapping up, we, Spanish first, now English. You're all over her opinion. And say, what's the name?
We're honorable.
Voces de dinero. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're honored to have you here. We need to come to the school next. We got to do some kind of video.
I changed it. I tell you, I used a YouTube video to change out a light. I was
change a light?
Yes.
Like a light bulb?
No. I actually, it was one of those clicky type of lights, and I changed it into one with the switch. I did it myself.
Look at you.
I used a YouTube video, but I almost got electrocuted.
Is that the one where the house almost burnt down?
Almost. But I was a single.
You're lucky you didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I know. I was a single mom, whatever. But you know what? Just you talking about it, I'm like, maybe I should go take a course. It's really cool to do, though.
I mean, it's fascinating. I told my students,
do you know how to do it?
That's exactly where I was going to go. I was like, you guys know more than me when they graduate, because I'm always so busy that I can't take the class. And I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and I still haven't sat through the class. My son is about to be 17 now. He wants to be an electrician. And I was like, okay, baby, then you do it, because I don't have to learn it anymore after him.
Do you know something basic, though? Have you learned something?
Yes. I know a lot of terminology. I know a lot of the sectors. I know a lot of how to get people to work.
A 4 switch.
Yeah, 3
I didn't know about
switches,
that. Yeah.
GC, the GFCI.
I only know that because of real estate, but other than that, I wouldn't have known.
So, but now me applying it is a whole different story. But I definitely know a lot about it, and HVAC too. And so I know about the capacitor and usually what sound it makes when it breaks down. Yeah. So I'm a little bit good at the troubleshooting, but no, you don't want to hire me.
So I can't be like, you just this one plug for me, please.
I said my student is better. It's better than me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well. Also, too, I love that you put on a dress for us and came here and looked all pretty in
pink. Thank you. I usually wear red,
Yeah, red, because that's your colors, your school colors. But pink is, she wore it for us.
Yes.
And the dress for us, too, because I know normally you'd like to have some pants on and be comfortable.
I'm usually in a suit,
Yes, exactly. Always. We love that.
So looking pretty in pink.
Thank you
so much. Again, thanks for being here, Elvia. And we'll definitely see her face again. She'll be back.
Yes.
And maybe we'll see her at the school. So definitely tell them where to find you again.
So we're located in 9700 Almeda, Genoa, Houston, Texas, 77075. And our number is 832-944-1042. So if you're interested, we have scholarships available. We have support, and we're here to help.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on
Thank
our
you.
Opinion Show.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See y'all next week. That drink.